Welcome into Thursday morning Zoom. We're going to keep it a little bit gentle today, but kind of flow. So that the idea is to just flow, but stay with your breath, stay with the flow of your breath, and stay with the sensations that you're experiencing as we go through each and every posture. So let's find ourselves in a comfortable seat. So you might want to build up your hips. Relax your legs, lengthen your spine, roll back your shoulders, lengthen your neck without strain, relax your jaw, let your hands rest. If you like, you can just let the palms rest on your lap, you can just turn the palms up, or you can come into Jnana Mudra, which is thumbs and first fingers touching. And then close your eyes. And we'll just take a moment to center ourselves. Acknowledge how you're feeling right now, emotionally, mentally, physically. Just take a moment. And then coming with awareness to your breath. Notice how you're breathing, how your breath feels. It's often connected to how you feel emotionally or mentally. Sometimes with the stress comes a shallow breath. And with the shallow breath comes stress, so everything is linked, circular. So as soon as you start to pay attention to your breath, normally it starts to respond by slowing down, getting a little longer, a little deeper. And today we're going to focus a little bit on breath retention. So the pauses that occur between breaths. So today, as you allow your breath to slow down and develop and get longer and deeper, I want you to start to also watch for the pauses that start to occur between the inhale and the exhale, and again between the exhale and the inhale. One end might occur more naturally than the other. Just take a moment to watch the natural development of that pause. Without forcing it. Maybe by now, as you start to relax into the breath, the pauses start to occur. And the longer you spend at this, and I invite you to do this maybe during the week, just spend some time with your breath and this kumbhaka practice, which is the breath retention. And then we'll begin to count them in. So we'll breathe together now. And we'll start with a count of 4 in and a pause of 2. Breathing out for 4 and a pause of 2. And we'll build up that pause to equal length with inhale, pause, exhale, pause. So 4 like a square. So I like to picture the square in my mind. So let's breathe in now for 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, out, 2, 3, 4, pause, 1, 2, in, 2, 3, 4, pause, 1, 2, out, 2, 3, 4, pause, 1, 2, in, 2, 3, 4, pause, 1, 2, out, 2, 3, 4, pause, 1, 2, in, 2, 3, 4, pause, 1, 2, out, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, full square, in, 2, 3, 4, pause, 1, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4, pause, 1, 2, in, 2, 3, 4, pause, 1, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4, pause, 1, 2. Continue like that. You might like to increase the count. See if you can keep the idea of the square. Just for a few more breaths. Taking one more round. Then letting the eyes open, start to roll out your shoulders. We're prepared to begin our asana. So today let's start with the neck. So let's start to draw the chin to the chest. And again, lift the sternum up to meet the chin too. Roll the shoulders back. Hold it here for another little bit. See if you can really feel that neck lengthening in the neck. I really feel that there. Inhale, start to look to the ceiling, and again, find that lift from the sternum all the way up through the neck, letting your head come back as far as it feels it can. And exhale again, bring the chin back to the chest. Gently draw your chin along the top of your chest towards your right shoulder. And then let your head tilt to the side. So your ear is dropping towards your shoulder as well. Now, roll your head back, chin to chest, and we'll start to roll over towards the left. So left ear towards left shoulder, and chin slightly as well to the left of center. And if you find any sweet spots, as I like to call them, as I have in my neck, you know, come back to this as many times during the week as you can. Come back over to the other side. This time, lifting the chin a little higher to point forward so that your ear comes a little bit further towards the shoulder a little bit. And then maybe start to, again, lift the chin up a little bit more so that your gaze is towards the ceiling a little bit. And then bring the chin back to center, lift the head up, and we'll drop towards the left. So left ear towards the left shoulder. And then gently start to lift the chin, nose, gaze up. And again, looking for those kind of little sweet spots as you go. Explore the neck. And I'm finding more and more as I have like tension in my neck that we ask a lot of our neck through our practice. You know, the head is heavy. And when we're in our triangles and we're in our side stretches and we're looking up, there's quite a weight to hold. So it's no wonder my neck gets a little tight and tense. Inhale, lift up. Let's twist and turn towards the right. Hold it here for a breath, and again, really make sure the shoulders are back and down. You'll feel the difference in the neck when you do. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, let's twist and turn to the left. Far around as you can. Again, shoulders back and down. Really feel the muscles of the back engaging to draw the shoulder blades in. It's an action. Inhale, come back to center. Let's do full circles, so chin to chest, ear to shoulder to the right, look up, ear to shoulder to the left, look down, chin to chest. Let's do 2 more that direction. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Okay, when your chin comes back to your chest, let's go back the other way. 3 circles. Nice and slowly. Last one. And back to center. Let's shake out the wrists. So give them circles today with fingers open, flamenco it out. And then change direction to go back the other way. And let's, with our right hand, draw the right thumb down with the left hand, back towards your forearm. And moving to the index finger, draw it back. You should feel a stretch all the way through here. And middle finger. And ring finger. And baby finger. Throw the whole hand down. So it's like you're trying to get your fingertips again towards the inner part of your forearm. Stretch through the outer wrist. And then we'll shake that out and go to the other side. So thumb, stretching back. Index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and baby finger. There's the whole lot down towards, so just kind of keep the arm straight, press the hand down. And release. Shake it out, sparkle it out. Okay, let's stretch out the legs from sitting straight for a while, sitting tall. Point your toes. You can't really see my feet right now. I'll turn to the side. I'll put them in the spotlight. Point the toes. Draw them back towards you as you flex. Point and flex. Last one, point and flex. And circle into the ankles. And back the other direction. Sit nice and tall, find your sit bones, flesh out your buttocks if you need to. And we'll gently take a forward fold. Walking your hands down your legs towards your feet, wherever you come. And just soften into those hamstrings, soften into the muscles running through the back body. Ease in. Gently rise up. Place your right foot to the outside of your left knee. We'll just take a twist. So bring your right hand behind the back, left hand to the left knee, and gently use your hands to help twist you around. Draw your belly in. Maybe look back over the right shoulder. Keep your right foot grounded on the mat. Left leg active, toes pointing to the ceiling. Maybe you can go a little bit deeper by bringing your elbow to the outside of the knee, twisting a little deeper. Watch your breath. Allow your body to develop with the breath. And then exhale to unwind. Stretch out the right leg. Bring the left foot to the outside of the right knee. Sit up tall. Bring your left hand behind you. Right hand to left knee. Maybe twisting around here. Maybe as you develop into the twist, you might take your elbow to the outside of the knee, or just wrap your elbow around the knee, which is a nice hugging kind of way to do it too. Just again, activate the right leg again so it's nice and firm on the ground. Draw in the belly, engage the core, stay long. And then on your exhale, you can unwind to center. Unravel the legs, bring the feet to the side, come onto all fours. And we'll cat-cow flow, so cowing, looking up, dropping the belly, arching the spine. Exhale, rounding the spine, doming up, chin to chest. Inhale. Exhale. Really hug in the belly. Lift your pelvic floor. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to step the right foot forward So maybe a little further than your hands were, so walk your hands forward as well, just to kind of get a deeper stretch into the hips. We haven't really done any hip stuff yet, so let's use this as our ease in hip stretch this morning. Little lunge. Sink the hips forward and down. Lift your chest, draw your shoulders back. Notice how everything feels in the hips today. Now tuck your left toes under if they aren't already there. And we'll start to grow ourselves up into a stretch. So straighten the front leg, the right leg, straightening at the knee. Bow in towards that right foot. I've come up onto my left toes, but if you want, and if you can try and press your heel to the floor, giving a stretch into the left calf muscle as well. If that's too much, step the left foot in a little bit further towards you, closer towards you rather, and then see if you can lower the heel to the floor. And then we'll take our hands to either side of the right foot, flatten them down, bring the right foot back and stretch into downward facing dog. So maybe walk the feet back again, just adjust however you need to get a nice stretch in downward facing dog. And again here you might like to soften the knees and lengthen the spine, press the chest back towards the thighs, draw in the belly, lift and separate your shoulders, draw them down onto the back. Let's take 2 more breaths here, really pressing firmly, evenly into both hands. See if you can start to straighten the legs now and drop the heels towards the floor. And then on the next exhale, you can drop your knees to the ground, step your left foot forward, sink the hips forward, maybe even shift your right knee back further if that's how you find a deeper stretch. So just see what works. Sink forward, looking for a stretch through the front of the right hip into the left kind of glute, maybe a compression into that front hip flexor as well. Drop the shoulders, lift the chest forward. And then gently again, tucking the right toes, lifting the hips up as you straighten the left leg, folding in over the left leg, maybe hopping in the right foot a little bit closer so that you can lower the heel to the floor. But again, just see what works and if that's something you need today. Okay, then we're going to this time step the right foot forward. So lift it in, step to the top of your mat. Inhale into a half lift. Engage your core, flatten your back. Draw back your shoulders. Exhale, fold in towards your legs. Let your head hang. And you can hold on to your ankles, you can hook your big toe, or you can just let your elbows come to your hands, so hands to elbows, let yourself dangle. All right, firm up your legs. Feel the quads tightening, core engaging, lifting up with a straight back, rising up. Let's take a stretch upwards. And exhaling, we're going to bow straight forward again into
our first sun salute. So folding in. Inhale to half lift. I'm taking it gently, so I'm placing my hands on my shins. Look forward. Bring your hands to the ground. Step your right foot back. Hold in a runner's lunge, so keeping knees off the ground. Step your left foot back. Come into your plank. Let's hold for 3 breaths. Tighten your legs, tighten your core, lengthen your tailbone. So we're not arching, we're not lifting in the hips, we're trying to keep everything nice and straight. Drop the knees, let's hold our chaturanga. So if you like, you can turn your hands out a little, bend the elbows, hover, squeeze your arms into your sides. Lower to the floor. Inhale, maybe move your hands forward slightly. Cobra. Press your toenails into the ground. Relax your buttocks. Exhale, come down. Let's bring ourselves back up onto our knees. Push back to downward facing dog. Adjust your feet. And stretch into downward facing dog for another 4 breaths. Last breath. On the end of the exhale, look forward, step up to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, strong legs, strong core. Reach up. And exhale, close in at your heart. Inhale, rise up. Look up. Exhale, fold, back straight, core strong, legs strong. Fold in. Inhale, half lift. This time, step your left leg back. We'll just hold it for a moment in the runner's lunge. So bend your right knee, sink the hips low. Stretch back. Then on your exhale, step back into plank. Hold this one. Tighten the legs, tighten the tummy, tighten the glutes. Drop the shoulders back. Nice long neck. Okay, we're going to come to the ground through chaturangas. We'll hold it just for a breath. 1 breath in. And out, lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra, roll the shoulders back. Flatten the toes. Exhale, up and back to downward dog. Use your core for that lift. Push back, lift the hips, stretch it out. 3 more breaths. And then on the end of the next exhale, look forward, step up. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Strong legs, strong core. Exhale to the heart. 1 more. So this time we'll try to go for chaturanga, upward dog. So reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, half lift. Step back, both feet plank. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, push forward and up into upward dog. Legs off the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. 2. 3. 4. Look back to your thigh. And 5. As you exhale, look forward. step or jump up. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, close. We're going to separate our feet slightly for Padangusthasana. So let's take a little space between the feet, hip distance. Bring your hands to your hips, open your chest, look up. Exhale, fold forward. And again, here you might hook your big toes with your first two fingers. You might take your hands around the calf muscle. And we'll just take a little half lift and fold in towards the legs as deeply as you can. If you're holding your big toes, bring your elbows out to the side and try and lift your shoulders up away from your head. While still using your hands to draw yourself down a little deeper. Now inhale up a little bit, half lift again, and I'll turn to the side so you can see better. Padahastasana, so hasta, anything, is hands. Pada is feet, and this is the kind of standing on the hands pose. So we're going to slide the hands in under our feet so that our tips of our toes come to our inner wrists. Soften your knees if you need to get them there. And then pressing down onto the toes into the wrists as you fold in. So lifting your toes up, you might notice, increases the stretch into your hamstrings. So just see if you can feel that, notice that. And then gently release your hands from your feet. Inhale to half lift. Exhale your hands to your waist or your shoulders back. And inhale, come all the way up to standing. Samasthiti, hands together. Take a pause, take a moment. Especially coming up from a folded forward position like that, sometimes you can get a little head rush. So watch out for that in your own practice. There's no need to rush from pose to pose. Take a pause. Nice to kind of let the last pose settle in. We're going to step back so that you can face the side of your mat, whichever way is more comfortable for you with your screen. And we'll take a few standing poses, nice and familiar. Let's take the arms out to shoulder height. Turn the right toes out. Left toes in slightly. So actually deep breath, it'll look like mirror that. Let's reach to the right, tighten in the tummy. Keep this left hip drawn back, left shoulder drawn back, and fold into your Trikonasana. Hand to meet the leg, right hand to meet the leg, left hand stretching for the sky or for the ceiling. And lengthen as you press firmly down through the outer edge of your left foot. Try and find a lengthening through the side waist, the side of the hip, the side of the rib cage. Reach up. Draw the shoulder in and down as much as possible. Look up to your thumb if that's okay in your neck. So this is what I mean about the kind of weight of our head as we turn and hold. There's quite a bit of work for the neck to do. So good to stretch this out as well as strengthen it in this way. Let's take one more breath. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, turn the feet. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach to the left, fold to the left, drawing right shoulder back, right hip back. So even sometimes it's not, I even do it, is to put my hand on the top of my hip and stroke it back. So it feels like you're drawing it back, but really just kind of drawing attention to it. Again, see how the neck feels. This is my sticky side, my left side looking up. So let's ease it round. Just look as far as you can. You might have to stop halfway between looking forward and looking up, but just bring it to wherever it goes. Maybe in the meantime, you can let your left hand sink slowly down further towards your left foot. And then on your inhale, we'll rise up nice and slowly. Avoid the head rush. Let the hands rest for a moment. I think my screen is getting a little sticky. I hope everything's okay. Let's take the feet wider, turn the right foot out. We're going to open into a Parsvakonasana. So this is our side stretch. Bend your right knee. Elbow onto the thigh. Right arm reaching straight up or over. The inner arm coming towards your ears. See where you come to naturally without strain. Make sure you're still working now. That's always the difference. The fine line between overdoing it and underdoing it. So finding that balance. And then maybe if you feel comfortable enough to take your hand to the floor inside the leg today. I alternate between inside and outside today. I'm an inside girl. It's raining outside, we're staying indoors. And then just for the last couple of breaths, let's wrap our arm behind the back. So bring the back of your hand to your sacrum or even to the right buttock and open back the shoulder, look up to the ceiling. Press that shoulder back. Inhale then, straighten the arm back up. Inhale, rise up, turn the feet, lengthen. Exhale, bend your left knee. Take your elbow to your thigh and reach right arm up. Then you might go further in the shoulder, bringing the arm towards the ear. And you might go further, bringing the left hand to the inside of the left foot. The reason I like to take it to the inside sometimes is to use my arm to press my knee out. So often when we come deeper in this, the knee falls in. So we want to use the glutes, the outer glutes, to help draw the knee out, use the inner thigh muscles as well. But also the arm kind of braces the knee from falling in. So that's another reason for taking it in. Arm overhead towards the ear perhaps. Keep pressing into the outer edge of your right foot so that the inner arch doesn't fall in. Strong core. And then maybe just the last couple of breaths, take the right arm behind you. Find your sacrum at the back of your hand or your left buttock. Press into it with your hand, open back that right shoulder. And maybe look up. Long hold today. Now, reach back up, lift back up. Exhale, release the hands, take them to the hips. We're going to turn the feet, both feet to the right. So right foot out and left foot turning in so that both feet are facing back to that end of your mat. Get steady. Square the hips. And we're going to come into, first of all, a pyramid pose. We did this really in our warm-up a while ago. We're going to fold forward. See if you can bring the hands to the ground. And again, if you need to adjust your stance, maybe make it shorter. Then we're going to half lift and lengthen forwards. Maybe your hands will come off the ground. We're going to turn this one into a reverse triangle. So I want you to get your left hand to the outside of your right foot. Twist through the torso to draw your right shoulder back on top of your left shoulder and reach up. Reverse triangle. Purvita Trikonasana. On your exhale, lower that hand down. Inhale, come up to standing. Exhale, spin around to the other side. Left foot in front. We're going to fold forward, keeping the legs straight, hips square, into a variation of pyramid pose. Purvasana. Now, reverse triangle again. And just spin because you will see better. So, right hand to the outside of the left leg. So find length first, give yourself a little half lift. Right hand to outside of left foot. Twist to face the side. So again, draw the shoulder back so that they're in line, one stacked over the other. Reach up and maybe look up. Find your balance. Again, use your core for stabilization and strength. Nice and steady. And then on your exhale, lower that hand down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, step to the top of your mat. Back into Samasthiti, hands together at the heart. Pause. Absorb. And then, again, taking a step back so that you can face the side of the mat again. Take the hands to the hips. Turn the toes in, heels out a little. Inhale, lengthen up. And now we're Prasarita Padottanasana. We're folding forward into our straddled forward fold. Bring your hands to the ground in between your feet. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, lower the head towards the floor. Walk your hands back between your feet. Keep gripping the mat to see if you can draw yourself down a little bit deeper. Keep lifting the shoulders away from the head, up in this case. And then on your inhale, lift up. Bring your hands to your waist on your exhale. And inhale, rise all the way back up to stand. Okay. Let's, from here, take the right toes out. So again, look this way. Come up onto your left toes and square the hips to face that end of the mat. The right foot end of your mat. Come down into a low lunge, so your knee comes onto the mat, left knee. And we're going to take the arms up, bring the palms together, bring them down to the heart, and we're twisting. So left elbow is going to come to the outside of the right knee. And again, I'll spin around for a better view. Pressing the palms together, lifting thumb to sternum, sternum to thumb. Drawing the belly. Then if you feel steady enough, you can stretch back into your left leg. And untwist, hands down. Step back. Downward dog. Change sides. Sink into it. Drop the right knee. Reach up. Hands to the heart. Twisting to the other side, so right elbow to left knee, pressing the palms together, drawing the shoulders down to the back, lifting your chest towards your thumbs as much as possible. Maybe lifting the right knee off the ground, stretching back into the right heel. 4 more breaths. Now, unwind, bring your hands down. We're going to take a vinyasa. So hopefully you're, I don't know which end of the mat you've ended up. You might be facing away from me at this stage. I haven't kept up because I've been flipping around. Step back into plank anyway. You can stay with me. Fold or lower down. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. From there, you can jump yourself into sitting. Turn yourself to face your screen, whichever way you've ended up. I don't know there. It's all very different from home. But it doesn't matter. That's the beauty of it. When you're in a class, you don't need to make sure that everyone's facing the right way. But at home, you can end up anywhere. It's fine. Let's take a moment to center ourselves, drop the shoulders back, lift and straighten up. Connect with the new position, so you're easing yourself down, and our seated poses are cooling in their nature. So let's turn our cross-leg position into Sukhasana. So easy cross-leg, you don't really think about it, you just come straight in. Sukhasana, we're going to try and start with the right foot in front, and try and get your lower leg parallel, shin parallel with the front of your mat as much as possible. Bring the right foot in front and wiggle the foot all the way out to be in line with your left knee. Okay, so then we're in position, feet are flexed, pointing forward. Press down into the hips, so just not with your hands, just energetically. Press the knees down, press down into the hips of the ground, and then bring your hands forward in front of your feet. You probably can't see me from there, so I'll just turn to the side. And we'll fold ourselves in to our forward fold. Don't worry about how far you go. Obviously, it'll depend on what's happening in your hips. But keep the feet flexed, protecting the knees. Breathe into it. Bringing yourself back up. Let's change sides. The left will come in front of the right. Try and keep your right shin somewhat parallel with the front of your mat, or the side of the mat you're facing. Flex your feet. Left foot crosses in front of that nice straight right shin. So again, you're trying to bring that heel of your left foot in as close to, just in line with your right knee as possible. Flex the feet. And again, fold in. Build yourself back up. Walk back in. We're going to come through to downward dog, so come back into a kind of an easier version of your cross leg. Roll forward, step back. Let's take a mini vinyasa. Well, let's take a vinyasa actually. Let's lower down. Inhale, upward dog. If you want to skip the vinyasa, of course, you come straight to down dog. Otherwise, we'll all meet here in down dog. And we'll take a pigeon. So let's just bend our right knee and slide it forward to the right wrist. With your left hand, just encourage the foot over to the left side of the mat. Bring your left hand back to the mat, bring your left knee to the ground. And then slide your left leg back further, so inch back with using your toes of your left foot. Square your hips as much as possible. And then fold forward. Similar to the Sukhasana position, the hip is in a similar position, but we are also lengthening through the left front thigh and hip. And using our body weight to press a little bit deeper down into that right hip to find a bit more release there. Into the sacroiliac joint as well, into the sacrum, the glute. And then gently start to bring yourself up onto your hands. We're going to stretch back to downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet, just to release in the hips. And then we'll slide that left knee forward towards the left wrist. Lay the foot across the mat to the other side. Slide your right leg back. Use your toes, inch it back, walk it back. Find a deep stretch into those hips. And then come down onto your elbows for a forward fold. Or you can even stretch your arms out further if you feel like going deeper. Whatever feels good. You feel like you're sitting down on your left hip a lot and your right hip has risen up. Try and press down into your right hip. Might mean that your left hip comes up, but that's okay. Your hips are level and you're working with integrity. Drop the shoulders if you feel they're punched in any way, draw them back. Now this time we're going to come into forearm plank. So press down into your hands and elbows, tuck your right toes and lift the knee off the ground, and then slide your left foot back and we'll stay in our forearm plank for a few breaths. Again, fire up your legs, press back into your heels, really tighten up the thighs. Lengthen your tail, draw in your belly. Lift your pelvic floor, broaden your shoulders and draw them away back down, away from your head. Can we do 4 more breaths? Okay. Now lower your hips down to the ground. Flatten your toes. Look forward for Sphinx. So I always feel that after a forearm plank that I've held for a while, my Sphinx feels like a resting pose, but actually already you're working into strengthening the back. So it kind of feels like a win-win. Work that feels like rest is always good. Keep the arms active. Keep lifting the chest through the arms, drawing the shoulders back away from the head. And then maybe if it feels okay in your back, press into your hands now and lift your elbows off the ground. You'll feel your legs kicking into action a little bit more, but that's good. But try not to clench your buttocks. Shoulders still down. Exhale, come back down onto your elbows. Walk your hands back and just let your head rest a moment to take a little rest. We're nearly finished, so we just want to make the most of the time. So on your inhale now, we're going to press back up. And we're going to take a little kind of twisting cobra today. So bending your left elbow Bring your right shoulder forward and look over your left shoulder. Hold it. Inhale, come back to center. And then bending your left elbow. Look back over your right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Let's do that one more time. So bend your right elbow, look back over your left shoulder, drop your right shoulder forward. Inhale, straighten the arms, back center. Exhale, bend your left elbow, drop the left shoulder forward, look back over your right shoulder. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, lower down. Make a pillow of your hands for your head. Just rest for a moment. And then we'll bring ourselves into child's pose for just another little stretch in the back. Sit back on your heels. Walk your arms in front. Take a nice big stretch. You can walk the fingers further away as you press your heels, or press into your heels with your bum. And then coming up onto knees. Finding Shavasana. So let's bring ourselves back onto our backs in any way that feels comfortable. Stretch yourself out on your mat. Lie yourself down. Surrender. Find surrender. So it's easier said than done sometimes, but hopefully you're ready to take that rest. Flip your palms up to face the ceiling. Open your chest, let your shoulder blades flatten into the ground. Lengthen your neck slightly, so no strain again, but just by bringing your chin towards your chest very gently, you'll feel that lengthening in the back of the neck. Bend your knees if you feel any discomfort in your sacrum, your lower back. You can place a cushion under the knees or a few cushions just to build up the knees. It'll help to relax the lower back into the mat, if that's for you. Let your feet flop out to the sides if they're straight and on the ground. And just feel that rolling out action from the hips, nice and gentle, nice and soft. Take a moment to scan through from the feet. Just notice how everything feels. Your toes, soles of the feet, ankles, shins, calves, knees, thighs, hips, pelvis, back, belly, chest, shoulders, arms, wrists, hands and fingers. Just making sure everything is letting go as you scan through. You notice anything tightening or tight when you let go, just let go. Your neck, be soft, relaxed. Your jaw, your cheeks, your chin, your lips, your tongue, nose, eyes, sinking deep in their sockets. Lids lightly closed. Eyebrows, forehead, all soft and relaxed. scalp, all the muscles of the head. And just breathe softness, watching your breath, whole body. So as you breathe in, feel a gentle expansion and lift just with that breath, without force, without control. And then with your exhale, just feel everything softening as you let go of that breath. Sinking a little bit deeper into the ground, as though you're in soft earth or soft sand, deep long grass or deep pile carpet, anything that feels like you can just sink in. Where do you imagine yourself to be right now? And maybe where you are is perfectly perfect. Okay, you're content there too. You don't have to be anywhere else. And staying with your breath, basking in the glow of your warmth generated from your efforts, and hopefully a sense of achievement, purpose, balance, and calm. So I invite you to stay here for as long as possible. I'm going to bring myself to stay here. Enjoy your relaxation. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.